The significance of Chinese investments in ports and infrastructure projects across the Arctic region presents risks that are beginning to sink in across Europe. In early 2019, the EU formally declared Beijing a strategic rival in the Arctic region. A question must be asked: what are the true intentions of China? The maritime lanes in the Arctic are opening and will soon be fully navigable, the most prominent of which is the North Sea route, which stretches along Russia's northern coast, thereby connecting the Bering Strait and the Norwegian Sea. This means new trade prospects between East Asia and Europe. Currently, this route is still under development, but both Russia and China are investing. It is possible that the North Sea route can cut 10 days off a trip from Asia to Europe when compared to the passages of the Indian Ocean and the Suez Canal. The total traveling distance between China and Germany is reduced by 4,600 kilometers. In addition, if it were to ever come to a war between China and USA, the option of avoiding Malacca and Suez canals, which are critical choke points of trade, could possibly save the Chinese economy. The second economic factor driving this expansion is the abundance of valuable natural resources such as hydrocarbons and minerals that are all becoming more economically feasible to extract. The North Sea route is not only a viable option of trade, it is also a viable route for the Chinese Navy if the relationship with the US ever becomes constrained. It is through the North Sea route that the Chinese could gain access to the North Atlantic and thereby be able to perform various activities such as intelligence gathering or nuclear deterrence patrols. In 2018, the following white paper was released, China's Arctic Policy. It can be read on their government's website. In the paper it states that China has shared interest with Arctic states and a shared future with the rest of the world in the Arctic. China's policy goals in the Arctic are to understand, protect, develop, and participate in the governance of the Arctic, so as to safeguard the common interests of all countries and the international community in the Arctic and promote sustainable development. When participating in Arctic affairs, China prioritizes scientific research, underscores the importance of environmental protection, rational utilization, law-based governance, and international cooperation, and commits itself to maintaining a peaceful, secure, and stable Arctic order. The utilization of sea routes and exploration and development of the resources in the Arctic may have a huge impact on the energy strategy and economic development of China. The white paper goes so far as to use the words Polar Silk Route. So, considering the strategic importance of the Arctic to China, what has it invested in so far? Number 1. The development of the Yamal gas fields in Siberia and the development of the North Sea route itself with Russia. Possibly one of the main benefits of working with Russia is the potential strengthening of the Sino-Russian relationship, the context of course being their shared rivalry with the US. It is an increasingly vital relationship for both countries. Russia needs Chinese investment to extract the natural resources under the permafrost and monetize its long Arctic coast, especially after the United States imposed sanctions over Russia's due to 2014's annexation of Crimea. Number 2. The investments in Greenland and Iceland. Between 2012 and 2017, Greenland received $2 billion and Iceland $1.2 billion, respectively. This made up 11.6% of Greenland's GDP and 5.7% of that of Iceland. Particular interest has been shown in the development of transportation infrastructure such as harbors and airports. There are concerns that these countries might find themselves in debt traps in the distant future, while the US is worried how this infrastructure may host a secret Chinese military presence. Also, while Greenland is still under Danish control, there are worries about how Chinese money may bolster Greenland's quest for independence. This will be disastrous for the role of the Danes in the Arctic's future. In 2016, Denmark prevented China from buying an old military base in Greenland. Washington also encouraged Denmark to reject Chinese offers to help build international airports, promising that it itself will provide the funding for both civilian and military airports. 2018 saw the launch of China's second Icebreaker, a and the plans for a nuclear-powered icebreaker and several ice-capable patrol vessels are also on the table, like the best of Russian icebreakers. The new vessel would be powered by 2 nuclear reactors and cost a total of €134 million. The creation of a ship like this for non-Arctic powers is unprecedented, and rightfully should raise a few eyebrows. China's quest to increase its presence in the Arctic is becoming clear. It is likely that as the region's importance grows, China will also increase its efforts of expansion. Even though China generally is not perceived or considered as an Arctic nation and does not hold a seat on the Arctic Council, it is attempting to position itself as one. In the long term, this may set the stage for possibilities of conflict, as it is unlikely Russia, US, or the Arctic Council are going to give China what it wants, but at the same time, none of the Arctic countries are fully committed to denying China, considering the opportunities for funding and infrastructure development. This has been GeoPerspective, signing out.